Well, it's another hot, humid afternoon here at Camp Crazy, but I'm not going to complain because it'll soon be very cold and snowy. And if I'm sitting out here, I'll be up to my gluteus maximus in snow. So, this ain't so bad. Anyway, Rocky's having a sleep under my bed in the camper because it's cool under there. It's also very moldy under there, but he doesn't seem to be bothered by that. I guess the heat is the lesser of the two evils for Rocky. Anyway, today was the start of the trial of Tamara Leach and Chris Barber. And they were two of the organizers of the convoy, which was in Ottawa a couple years ago now, I believe. Time flies, you know. Was it a couple of years? Yeah, I guess it would be now. It'd be like 2021. Anyway, they're now on trial. They're up on mischief charges and inciting mischief, and I don't know what all. They each could be facing 10 years in prison. I'm going to now put my neck out, and I'm going to say what I think is going to happen on the basis of what I know of the Canadian justice system, or the so-called Canadian justice system. I think it's kind of poorly named. It's Canadian anyway, but that's about it. And it's a system, but there's one word in there that doesn't belong in there as far as I'm concerned. But I'll tell you what I think's going to happen. And I think this has already been decided. I think the trial's just a formality. And I think the outcome has already been decided, and the judge has been chosen. It'll be a judge who's loyal to Trudeau, the Prime Minister Trudeau, and to his government and his policies. Probably a judge who will owe his or her job to Trudeau. I don't know who the judge is. I need to find that out, I guess, eh? I need to do a little background. I'll have to do a little research on the judge, because right now I don't know anything about the judge. This is just what I think, because I've seen this before. I believe it'll probably be a judge who's loyal to Trudeau. When Tamara Leach tried to get bail after she was arrested, she was kept in jail in Ottawa for a long time, like for months and months. And that was because the judge at her bail hearing, and at every bail hearing she went for after that, was a former Liberal candidate who hadn't got elected but received the job of a judge from Justin Trudeau as a consolation prize, basically, because she didn't get the seat she ran for. And she's very fiercely loyal to Justin Trudeau. She's a close personal friend of his. And that's who was deciding whether Tamara Leach was going to get out on bail anyway. Now, what I think is going to happen is, I think they are going to be convicted. I don't think they're going to get the full 10 years, but I think they're going to get substantial prison time. I'm going to guess in the range of anywhere from 5 to 8 years, somewhere in that range. And the reason I say that is, I think the government and those who support the government are going to want to be able to say, well, yeah, the courts, they were convicted, and so they're guilty because they're convicted, but the court showed them mercy. I think they want to be able to say that. The court didn't punish them for their crimes as much as it could have. Showed them mercy. And I think that's why they're going to do that. Because if they throw the book at them and give them the full 10 years that they could get, then it's going to look really punitive, and they know all of us who are on their side are going to say, this was punitive, this is to make an example out of them, So I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to be convicted. And if I were a betting man, I'd bet on it. And if I were a betting man, which I'm not, but if I were, I would say that they're going to get anywhere from 5 to 8 years in prison, each of them. Not the full term that they could get. And I think this has already been decided. I think it was decided when they were arrested. I think it was already decided that this would be the outcome. And the judge is just going to pass the sentence as a formality, because it has to be passed by a judge, and that's how it'll be. But Anyway, I'm not a betting man, but at the same time, I'm putting my neck out, making a prediction. And if I'm wrong, I'll be called on it, you know. And maybe I am wrong. Maybe it won't go that way. I sincerely believe it will. I'll be really surprised if it doesn't. I'll be more than happy to be wrong if they don't get convicted. You know, there won't be any satisfaction for me in being right if they get convicted and they get time in the range that I'm predicting they'll get, or more time. There won't be any satisfaction in me in being right in this thing. I would like to see them both walk free. I think they both should walk free. In fact, I don't think they should have been charged in the first place. But I'll tell you what I think it is. I think this is going to be a precedent-setting case. And they have to be convicted to set the precedent that if you protest against government policy, you will go to prison in this country. I think that's what it is, because once they're convicted, then all of us will follow, you know. I mean, even guys like me talking like I am on here will be risking prison. So I think that's the idea. We'll see if I'm right. I just reached my video size limit, so I'll sign off now. Like I say, hold my feet to the fire if I'm wrong.